trade-in, trade-up event at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $12,500 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to $6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at The Other Place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The Other Place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Catch is made, and he fumbles. Valley causes a fumble. It's picked up. Recovered by Mason Morris. Mason picks up where he left off last year, one of the leading rushers in Central Iowa.
You're over there. It's time now for West Des Moines Valley High School football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is Iowa's premier source for live stream high school football. High school football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Atlantic Bottlers, Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, Better Business Bureau, G&L Clothing. Now let's go to our CISN.TV team for Valley Tiger High School football.
Welcome to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. I'm Pat Curtis with Keith Bornis. It's Iowa High School playoff football tonight, a quarterfinal round matchup between West Des Moines Valley and West Des Moines Dowling. This crosstown rivalry has been going on for 50 years. This year it started back in 1968, and isn't it appropriate that we're meeting in such a big game here tonight, Keith?
Well, a lot of people would like to see this matchup a little later in the season. We see it early in the season. They'd like to see it as late as possible in the season, and according to the state, this is as late as it's going to go.
Well, between these two teams, they've shared 13 state titles since the year 2000, and since 2013, they've met 8 times, Valley winning 3 of those games, Dowling winning 5. Valley won the most recent game earlier this year, 20-6.
And it was one of those games where both teams wanted to come out and establish themselves early and try to put together the best season they could put together. In that situation, Dowling came out, injured themselves a little bit more than Valley did with turnovers and just not getting things done the way they wanted to. You talk to both coaches are going to say there's been a lot of improvement since then.
Yeah, Dowling coming into this game with 2 losses. They lost to Valley, of course, early on, and Ankeny Centennial. Since that, then they've been on a huge roll, just blowing out opponents, shutting almost everybody out. And, of course, Valley coming in after an exciting first-round win and a 10-0 record.
Yes, and, one of the things that you can give the benefit of the first-round game to Valley just because the opponent on paper may not have looked stronger, but Ankeny probably is the most improved team throughout the year. Dowling, they came in, did not have much problem handling Fort Dodge.
All right, let's get to the Schottenkirk Chevrolet keys to the game from Keith Bornes. First of all, for Valley, if they're going to move it to the Unidome next week, what do they need to do?
Well, I'm going to actually talk about both teams at the same time because they're on paper almost mirror images of each other. If you take a look at total offense, Dowling has 4,500 yards of total offense. Valley has 4,450. They both have 55 touchdowns on the year. Pat, it's going to come down to special teams. Who can flip the field? Who can control where the ball, the starting position of the opponent? Those 2 factors are going to be huge. And, of course, the running back situation. Valley's going to have to stop Jason Murray. Dowling's going to have to stop Trey Fugate and Clayton Mitchell. Last key, the quarterbacks. One of them is going to have to get hot.
All right, the Schottenkirk Chevrolet keys to the game brought to you by Keith Bornes there and Schottenkirk Chevrolet. The Valley Tigers are coming on the field right now. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, you'll be hearing from Dowling coach Tom Wilson. This is CISN.TV.
Trade in, trade up event at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to 12.5 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to 6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade in, trade up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade in, trade up at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm talking now with Dowling Catholic head football coach Tom Wilson. Your team going after their 6th straight Class 4A team title, and you got the playoffs off to a great start with a very convincing win over Fort Dodge. Just talk about how you were able to so easily handle the Dodgers.
Well, our kids played outstanding. I thought Fort Dodge's offense coming into the ball game was tremendous, and it was a little bit different look than what we've seen throughout the course of the season, and the fact that they were so pass heavy. And I thought our secondary was outstanding. We gave Drake Miller quite a few different looks, plus we applied pressure, not only with our 4-man front, but by using the blitz. And I think a key to that was really the different looks that we gave him. And on offense, it was kind of a heavy dose of Jason Murray and Tegan Johnson to a certain extent. We handled the line of scrimmage pretty well, which certainly allowed us to rush the football like what we wanted to.
Did you get through that game and the season mostly injury-free, or are you feeling pretty healthy going into this matchup with Valley?
We are relatively healthy. We lost our starting tight end early in the first Valley matchup, Jack Rude. And other than that, we've got normal late season bumps and bruises and things like that. Actually, just getting Carter Baumler back, who is our punter and done most of our kicking up until the point that he was injured. So we're getting him back, which is a plus this week, and so we can't complain right now.
How has your team changed since that August 31st loss to Valley, 20-6 at Drake Stadium?
Well, like most coaches, you think you're going to improve. I don't think there's any question that we have. We've changed some personnel a little bit, but I think the big thing for us is to gain experience. And on defense, we were largely inexperienced during that time and honestly played pretty well. It was our offense that put our defense in bad places in that first matchup, and obviously Valley had an awful lot to do with that. So we feel like we've evolved and gotten a lot better, as I'm sure Valley feels the same way, and we're just going to see if we can match up to them this time and eliminate some mistakes and hopefully get things in our favor.
What is the key to slowing down, stopping that Valley offense?
Well, we're going to have to do a great job at the line of scrimmage. Trey Fugate has had a fantastic year. I believe they'll be getting Clayton Mitchell back this week. I think he's been dealing with some injuries, and Lombardi played very well against us the last time. So, they certainly have done a good job of using their weapons. I think they've got weapons on the outside at the receivers. And so it comes down to really everybody doing their job, but most importantly at the line of scrimmage. If we can gain an advantage there, that could make them a little bit one-dimensional, which we hope we can do that.
And I imagine when you're on offense, you're hoping Jason Murray can carry much of the load, but just kind of your same type of game plan, or will you have to change much in your attack on Valley?
Well, I think we'll have to change some. The last time we played them, turnovers and penalties certainly didn't help us any. Jason is a big part of what we do, so I'd be lying if I said he wasn't going to be, because he will be, and I think we have to get others involved as well. So we're going to have to be more balanced than what we were the last time, but really the big thing for us is to eliminate the mistakes that we made and that Valley forced us into.
All right. Thanks so much for your time, and good luck against Valley this Friday night.
All right, thank you.
My thanks to Dowling coach Tom Wilson for that pregame interview. Unable to hook up with Gary Swenson this week, but we've talked to him throughout the year, and it looks like he'll have almost everybody healthy for this game, including Clayton Mitchell, as you heard Coach Wilson talk about likely coming back for this game. The temperature right now, 49 degrees, cloudy, just not much wind at all. Let's go down to the field and hear from Dar Danielson about the conditions.
Yeah, Pat, this is as calm as it's been out here for a football game, and I can remember it a long time. No wind at all. The flags on the field swirling or anything. The field's in good shape. The conditions, wind, and that should not be a factor at all in this ball game, and it's just perfect temperature for playing football. Everybody's kind of calm here and waiting for something to happen, so we'll see as this kickoff gets underway.
All right, that Shields sideline report from Dar Danielson. We'll be hearing from him throughout the night. Pat Curtis and Keith Bornis ready for the call of this quarterfinal round playoff football game on CISN.TV. Keith, Valley will get the opening kickoff.
Yes, Dowling won the toss and deferred to the second half. So we're going to take a look at one kickoff team and one kickoff return as it is underway.
All right, kicking off, Drew Peterson for the Maroons, and it will be a touchback. Keith, Clayton Mitchell, a big part of this Valley offense. He missed that Ankeny game, but he's back. How big of a difference is that for the Tigers?
Well, for Valley, it does a couple of things. The last 2 weeks, teams have been able to just focus in on Trey Fugate, one running back in the backfield. They've shared time all year long, and Clayton Mitchell is kind of that in-between runner where he can be a wing, he can be a tailback. So there's going to be a lot of motion out of him. It adds another dimension to the game.
Here we go. Bo Lombardi, the quarterback for the Tigers. Dropping back. He's passing on the first play. He's going deep and overshoots his receiver. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ryan New, the intended target.
And not a bad target to go to. Ryan New has very good speed for the Tigers. But apparently so does the defensive backfield for Dowling, as 2 defensive backs were right there with him, stride for stride.
I saw Clayton Mitchell was wide open over the middle of the field there too. Now shotgun position, and this is Mitchell in coming across the formation. Trey Fugate gets the handoff and is dropped for a loss.
Great job by Dowling. Their front four has done a fantastic job all year, And they're getting their crowd into the game early tonight as they were able to bring Fugate down for a loss of about a half a yard.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10 from the 20. Just underway here, 11:24 to go in the first quarter, the first possession of the game for Valley. And here's a pitch to Fugate, looking for some room, but he only gets about 2 yards, and it will bring up a punt for the Valley Tigers.
Now, here's where we get into one of those keys of the game, and that is going to be the special teams. Can Valley flip the field here? They need to get a pretty good punt off in order to do that as they're deep in their own territory. Valley has had averaged 36 yards per punt, and Dowling has averaged 31 so far throughout the year.
Cole Peterson is the punter for the Tigers, standing at his own 10-yard line.
Dowling lining up like they're showing to bring some heat.
Peterson has plenty of room and gets a nice spiral, taking it at the 35-yard line and knocked into by his own player. Back to the 30 is Matt Stillwell. And that's where the Maroons will start their first possession at their own 31.
A great punt by Cole Peterson as he dropped that 45 yards down the field, and they had a -5 on the return. So as far as flipping the field, check one for Valley.
Iowa High School playoff football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Mid-American Energy, our 100% renewable vision. Valley's first play from scrimmage is a handoff to Jason Murray, and he gets 10, 15, well, about 13 yards. We'll see where this ends up, but in that first meeting between Dowling and Valley, Valley was able to hold Jason Murray in check. Not many big plays, only 4 runs over 10 yards in that game. His first carry goes for 12.
And there's a lot of adrenaline out there right now. Jason Murray has been a power since his sophomore year, and he's just gotten bigger and faster. And I say bigger, he's still not that big a guy.
5'9", 180, but he is a senior, a lot of experience at that position. A fake to him from Zach Waters, who throws deep, and the receiver was tripped up. No flag thrown. That was trying to catch the number who that was intended for there, but incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And the Valley sideline is going to tell you that's a great no call, incidental contact, tripping each other up. There was a pretty good contingency of the Dowling faithful right there in the officials' ears, letting him know it wasn't so good.
Zach Waters, the senior quarterback for the Maroons. Standing next to him is Jason Murray. A pass play, and knocked to the ground as the quarterback right as he threw it. He was looking for Jack Lyman, the senior wide receiver, number 13. It'll bring up 3rd and 10.
One of the things right now is you're looking at, so far Dowling has put together a running attack. They got 15 yards on that first run by Jason
Murray.
Murray, thank you. And then they've gone into 3 passes here, and both quarterbacks have showed that it's going to take a little more time to get settled into the game.
3rd and 10 play. The pass off of Jack Lyman's hands, just a little out in front of him, and off his fingertips. It'll be a punt situation for Dowling. This is Carter Baumler, the junior, who's back from an injury and doing the punting duties. 18 punts on the season, averaging about 34 yards per boot. He's kicked a long of 61. And this one is taken by Ryan New at the 20-yard line. He takes it to the other side of the field, and he's dropped no gain. And so Valley, on their second possession, once again, will start at their own 20-yard line. 9:32 to go in the first quarter. No score in this quarterfinal round game between Dowling and Valley.
Great job by the punt coverage Dowling had there. Valley actually has 360 yards in punt return compared to Dowling's 214. So one of the things that Dowling does not want to have happen is a Valley return man flipping the field after a good punt.
Lombardi under center, hands to Fugate. He has maybe a yard or two. Fugate, the senior running back, going for over 1,000 yards on the season in that win over Ankeny in the opening round last Friday. He's got, I believe, 20 touchdowns on the season. Yes, he had 2 last week, 18 during the regular season. 2nd down and 8 from the 22 for Valley. 9 minutes to go in the opening quarter. And our first flag.
Could be a neutral zone violation. We'll take a look at it here quick. Jack Johnson was doing his best to help the official out. And it was. The corner ended up lining up in the neutral zone.
In the first meeting on August 31st, Keith, penalties were a big factor for Dowling. They had a touchdown called back. In addition to turnovers, penalties hurt the Maroons. Here's a first down pass, or I should say it was a 2nd down play, but picked up for a first down, caught by Ryan New.
A very nice slant route there by Ryan New, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a tough catch. We saw how far Bo Lombardi overthrew his receiver on the first play. Well, that ball came in with the same velocity. It was just at a level that it could be caught.
1st and 10 Tigers at their own 37. Fugate with the carry. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like Connor Krieghauser, the senior defensive end for Dowling, on the tackle.
One of the things that both teams do so well, and Dowling showed you right there, they can set an edge. They're not going to allow you to run outside without being at least somebody getting a hand on you. So they're trying to push everything back into the middle to their big guys, and so far it's working out.
Jack Keogh also in on that tackle. He'll be in on a few tonight, no doubt. Lombardi just throws that one away. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Tigers at their own 37. Now under 8 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Both teams just kind of settling in. You know, on your first possession, you want to go for that home run ball, or you want to make a big play and see if you can set a tempo. Both teams have done that. Now it really is about becoming a patient team, letting the game come to you, and try and establish that line of scrimmage.
Lombardi in shotgun position, hands to Fugate, and Dowling not fooled on that play. Jack Keogh comes in from the linebacker position with a big tackle and a 4th down punt coming up for Valley.
That was a big hit. I don't know if Mr. Fugate has been welcomed to the defensive line quite like that this year. That was quite a shot.
Matt Stillwell again back deep to accept this punt from Cole Peterson. Peterson gets off another nice spiral, taking it from the 30 and some room to run for Stillwell. He gets out to the 45, so Dowling with pretty good field position to start their second possession.
About approximately a 40-yard punt with a 12 or 13-yard return. So Dowling improves by, 19 or 14 yards in starting position for this series rather than last.
No score. 7 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Dowling had to call a timeout. They did have just a few extra players on the field.
We'll take a timeout. We're tied at 0 with just over 7 minutes to go in the first quarter on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
As we get ready for the resumption of play, let's check in with Dar Danielson and this Shields sideline report. Dar, what are you seeing so far?
Well, I was a little surprised that Dowling came out and had a success in their first play running, and then they went to the pass right away. Let's see if they go back to the run here.
This is a running play. Jason Murray bouncing off one tackler. He's got a first down and a little bit more, another 12-yard scamper for the senior running back.
And not just any running back, a running back that's gone for 1,600 yards this year, and it's because of plays like that. He keeps his legs moving, and from a running back position, he's got great power, and he's got good speed.
Murray leaving for this next play. He's on the sideline as Waters takes the shotgun snap and throws to Edward Thompson, who drops that pass. Thompson is the top target receiving-wise for the Maroons, 28 receptions and 2 touchdowns this year. But it'll be 2nd down and 10 for Dowling. Again, this is their second possession, and this is the first time that one of the teams has marched into the other team's territory. Dowling now at the Valley 48-yard line. 2nd down and 10. This is Murray back in the game. He's got another first down, and look out, he's got one guy to go before he was going to go to the end zone, but he's dragged down after a big, maybe 20-yard carry.
So far tonight, he has not had a carry under 10 yards. So it's going to be a situation where if he can continue to take the pounding and he's got the motor to go, I think we're seeing what Dowling's plan is for the evening.
Already Murray getting close to 40 yards in this game, and here he is on another carry and just tripped up, but still another big gain, close to another first down at the Valley 15-yard line.
Dowling's offensive line, they are very big up front, and they are able to make some holes for Murray to run through, but we're also seeing Jason Murray make his own holes as he is just churning those legs forward.
Under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score. This is the first big threat of the game. Jason Murray gets the first down, and he's finally brought down at the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from the 6 for Dowling.
So what we're seeing tonight versus what we saw in the first game of the year between these two is Murray getting that initial push with his offensive line. Contact isn't even being made with him until he's 3 and 4 yards deep.
And then he's getting extra yards. Again to Murray. Into the end zone for a Dowling touchdown. A 6-yard run for Jason Murray. Our first points on the board. It's Dowling 6, Valley 0, 5:32 to go in the first quarter.
Again, great push up front. If Valley is going to have any success tonight, they have to get the Dowling offensive line stopped in their tracks. They can't let them move downfield, and that is something that Dowling did a wonderful job of on this second drive.
Drew Peterson has made 27 of 28 point-after attempts now after making that one there to put Dowling up on Valley 7-0, 5:32 to go in the first quarter on CISN.TV.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
As you predicted, Dar Danielson with the Shields sideline report. A lot of Jason Murray on that possession for Dowling.
Well, not only Jason Murray, but what's happening is the offensive linemen are coming out and making contact with the defensive lineman. Then the fullback or the two slot backs, Levi Hummel on one of those runs, they're picking up the linebackers, and you give that big a crease to the running back, and all he's got to do is pick his way through there. So the offensive linemen are doing it, and also those other backs are helping pave the way.
Valley will get a chance to return this kickoff, and they'll start their third possession at the 16-yard line.
Great kick. You know, when both of these teams take the field, you do expect that their kickers are just going to go ahead and put it in the end zone. There's not going to be one side of the field that's better than the other because there's no wind. On that particular kick, he got it high into the air and great coverage down as Jaden Williams got his first kickoff return of the year at the varsity level, and he was brought down at the 17.
Iowa High School playoff football on CISN.TV is brought to you by The Other Place, serving your favorite since 1970. 1st and 10 Valley, their third possession. It's a handoff to Trey Fugate. He might go all the way. He's at the 50. The 40 is being chased down and brought down in Dowling territory at the 32.
It's not always what happens to you, but how you respond to what happens to you. And that is a big play that Valley needed to have happen here to get back into this game. Get the crowd in the game, get the team in the game. I think everybody knows you can't stop Dowling from scoring. Most of the time, you can't stop Valley from scoring. So this could be a shootout. This could also be an extremely tight game all the way through.
A big hole over that right side behind Logan Mueller and Carter Lawrence. And Trey Fugate going about 54 yards on that first down play. Why not give it to him again? He's got a yard or two.
That was a little unfortunate there. Mr. Fugate ran into his own lineman who had turned to seal the edge, but ended up getting pushed back into the running back just a little bit. So one of the things that offensive linemen need to do, not only do they need to get their gap opened up, but they got to keep that gap opened up by moving your feet and keep pushing the D-line downfield.
2nd down and 8, Valley from the Dowling 30-yard line. Fugate is wrapped up by Jack Keogh behind the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and long. Keith, should mention that Valley, the starting center, is Mason Ayers. He moved into that position when Zach Shaner left last week's game with an injury. Shaner had the big interception that set up the Valley win in the first meeting of these two teams.
Yeah, well, there's two Shaners.
I'm sorry.
One plays the center, right, and then one plays defensive back. And, yes, the starting center, Zach Shaner, out for tonight after he had a big knee injury in that game against Ankeny.
Here's a big 3rd down play, a pass to Fugate. He breaks a tackle, but he will not get a first down. It'll bring up 4th down and about 4. And what do you think? Will Valley just go for it here?
Well, this is one of those areas of the field where you know you have a kicker that has the leg to do this. And they've been, Valley's kickers have been very accurate all year. Coach Swenson is not going to give an opportunity to get points on the board, let that go away. So
a 43-yard field goal try from Tinsley Wright. It's long enough. It's good. How about that? A 43-yard field goal from Tinsley Wright, and that would have been good from 50. It is Dowling 7, Valley 3. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play.
Okay.
The experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Keith, some points are coming off the board for Valley. What happened?
Well, Dowling ran into the kicker on that, so it was enough yards to get Valley the first down. Coach Swenson electing to take the points off and start over 1st and 10.
Big decision here because now we've got a quarterback sack. Lombardi wrapped up by a couple of Dowling players. And so instead of polling within 7-3, the score remains 7-0, and now Valley is in a 2nd down and 16 position at the Maroon 28.
We're going to find out here just how well Valley's offensive line starts to manage the pressure that Dowling's defense is dialing up. Their defensive line is getting a great push.
Here's Lombardi. There's a flag on the play.
Had a couple people in motion there. So that's going to bring them back even 5 more. But at the same time, it's 2nd and long, so they might just go to 3rd down, which Dowling does. They decide to have it 3rd and long.
All right. So here we go, 3rd and 16 for Valley at the Dowling 25. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Dowling with a 7-0 lead. Again, the Tigers just kicked a 43-yard field goal, but a penalty on Dowling. And Valley decided to accept that penalty, and now they're to see if they can get a touchdown. But instead, they're going to end up probably trying to kick another field goal here as Fugate is dropped for a loss.
And this field goal is going to be just a touch longer.
Where they're setting up, it's going to be about a 49-yard try for Tinsley Wright. Well, I said 44. He had enough. Oh, I'm sorry about that. 44, just a yard longer. Good snap, good hold. Did he get it? Yes.
Got it in again.
Tinsley Wright nails another field goal. This one will stick on the board. It's Dowling 7, Valley 3. A minute 13 to go in the first quarter on CISN.TV.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively, relentlessly at your
Our score is 7-3. Let's get a Shields sideline report from Dar Danielson. You have a better look at how close was that, Dar, to not going through?
Well, it almost looked from my angle that it missed, and they've got just one official down there. Usually they have one on each side of the uprights, and he came running over from the right to the left and said it was good. I do think it was good. It looked very close to being off, though.
Yeah, difficult to tell from our vantage point at the 50-yard line up here in the press box. And I saw that official run over, Keith. It kind of made you nervous if you're a Valley fan.
Well, yeah, and it is one of those things where, Dar is correct. They usually have one official under each upright. I'm trying to, because I've only seen the one, I'm trying to locate where the other official is on PAT and field goal.
See the 4 over there. There's 5 officials down there. Here we go. Dowling with their 3rd possession of the game. A handoff to Jason Murray here. He gets about 5-6 yards. We're winding down the 4th quarter. Now under a minute to go. I think I said 4th quarter. 1st quarter, of course. 7-3 Dowling. It'll be 2nd down and 4 from their own 26.
That may be Jason Murray's shortest run of the night so far. He's been hit at the line of scrimmage, but he's never been stopped less than 10 yards.
Zach Waters rolling out and passing. He's got Tegan Johnson for no gain. That's the first time the junior running back has touched the ball tonight.
And Carson Shelton came up out of that linebacker position to greet him this evening.
Tegan Johnson, a junior, 430 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns on the season. Here we go, 3rd down and 3. We'll see if this play is run before the end of the first quarter. And that's the end of the first quarter. Our score, Dowling 7, Valley 3. This is Iowa High School playoff football on CISN.TV.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
We're ready for the second quarter here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. It's Valley trailing Dowling 7-3 after the first quarter. Jason Murray with a 6-yard touchdown run for the Maroons with 5 minutes to go in that opening quarter. And then Valley a 44-yard field goal from Tinsley Wright.
That being after a 43-yard field goal that was taken off the board.
Yeah, a penalty on Dowling. Valley decided to accept the penalty, but then could not get anywhere with that possession and had to kick the field goal again, and Tinsley Wright made it again. It's 3rd and 3 from the 27 for Dowling. A handoff to Tinsley Wright, and he's going to be stopped. It'll be 4th down for the Maroons, and they're going to have to punt as they're at their own 27.
Nice job in there by Jake McCudden. Kind of, as a defensive lineman, your first goal is to get into your gap, reestablish the line of scrimmage 1 yard deep. If one guy does it, that's great. Or that actually can create holes. If all guys do it, that's going to get a stop. And on that one, Valley was able to get it done.
Oh, Carter Baumler with the punt, and it's taken by Valley and being returned to the far side across midfield. And it wasn't Ryan New. It looked like, is that Mason? Well, no.
Mason DeBrava.
It's the first time I've seen him out there.
Well,
on punt
he's
return.
a sophomore.
Okay.
And so he's coming in to try and help out with some of the punt return duties this tonight because of John Shaner not being able to be out there with injured shoulder. So Shaner's only playing the defensive backfield. He's not doing any of the other duties tonight.
Okay. And there wasn't a block in the back on Valley, so this one marched back to the 41-yard line. That's the Valley 41. They'll start this possession in their own territory, trailing 7-3, 11-13 to go in the first half.
Still very good starting position as Lombardi comes up under center.
And Nate Wilcoxon is the fullback. Behind him is Fugate, who gets the carry, bounces off his own guy, and is dropped for a 1-yard loss.
And he did a remarkable job only having the 1-yard loss, as he got bumped back pretty good and had to fight to get back to just a 1-yard loss. That defensive line is getting such a great push up front, and when they don't have the great push they've had, they're not losing any ground. They're at least maintaining where the line of scrimmage is.
Nate Collins, the big nose guard, senior, 245, plugged up that play. Here's Lombardi looking to pass, and he throws this away. Almost an interception. Pressure applied over there, too, by the Dowling defense. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Trey Fugate was open, but then turned upfield, and Bo threw it to where Fugate was instead of where Fugate was going.
Jack Scholes providing some pressure for the Maroons. Just underway in the second quarter, 10:25 to go in the first half. It's 7-3 Dowling. Valley with the ball at their own 40-yard line, facing 3rd and 11. Lombardi to pass. He's got Ryan New, but short of a first down. Up to the 48-yard line. This will bring up 4th and about 3, and it looks like they'll bring out Cole Peterson and the punt team.
Nice job by Ryan New. A good route. Sometimes it's a situation where you always question the wide receiver. Why didn't they get to the chains before they stopped and turned around to get that pass. Ryan New just kind of setting into a zone and hoping to turn it upfield, but came up a little short.
The third punt here from Cole Peterson, not his best one of the season.
No.
And Dowling will get pretty good field position at their own 39. That's where the official said the ball went out of bounds.
Approximately a 20-yard punt.
We haven't seen him have many punts like that this year.
No. He's hit some very good punts, but it seems to be like that for punters. If you get into a rhythm and things go well, it's that one that comes off the foot just a little weird, and it makes you look very silly. The worst punt of the year I've seen actually was only a 6-yard punt.
Zach Waters rolling out, gets the pass away, and it's intercepted by the Valley defender at the 30-yard line. Who is that?
Again, Drew Urach. He just got his 9th interception on the year.
Wow.
He has been everywhere.
The ball is.
That's right. So the play actually being as good as a punt, you just don't necessarily want to punt that early in the series.
So the first turnover of the game, an interception by Drew Urach. As Keith said, his 9th of the season. And this is game 11. So Valley, 1st and 10 at their own 31. Lombardi, shotgun position, hands off to Fugate. He makes a couple of people miss. He's got a first down, and he's close to the 50, brought down there by Drew Peterson. Marked at the 47-yard line, so about a 17-yard pickup. And some good blocking, but Fugate made a lot of that happen.
He did, and Matt Stillwell in on that play as well. It's amazing the closing speed of both sides when it comes to the linebackers and the defensive backs.
Clayton Mitchell to the top of your screen as Lombardi rolls out. He's looking for Mitchell, but he passes to Wilcoxon, who has a first down and knocked out of bounds at the Dowling 40.
As far as Nate Wilcoxon is concerned, he's a big fullback. He's got a couple of yards rushing, but right now he's leading Valley's receiving yards on the season, and I think he's a guy that would just as soon say, I'm a fullback. I'm better than all you receivers.
Yeah, he's scored 3 touchdowns via the air, and he's got a rushing touchdown on the year. But he is Valley's leading receiver from that fullback position. He's in there behind Lombardi, and a handoff to Fugate. Not much running room on this 1st down and 10 call.
But something that the Valley fans are happy to see, the ball moving in the positive direction. Talking to some of the coaches tonight before the game, the question was, is Valley going to be like a Valley of old and be able to just run up the middle and take control of the line of scrimmage? If you're going to be able to do that, you either have to attack it early and fast and keep the motor running, or, again, be patient and let those yards come. Get your 3, the 30 will come.
8 minutes to go in the first half. It's 7-3. Dowling with the lead. Valley facing 2nd and 7. A pass to the end zone. Johnson is unable to come up with this one. It'll be 3rd and 7. Boy, you just never know what Johnson might do. He couldn't provide the magic on that one.
He couldn't on that one, and that certainly has been his end of the field for making some great catches.
Yeah.
Dowling did a great job on the coverage there. A lot of times you have the question, he never turned around, he never looked at the ball. Well, face guarding is not a high school call. As long as you don't make contact, it's not a pass interference.
3rd down and 7. Nicky Train coming into the game. He's a tight end for the Tigers. Wilcoxon and Fugate in the backfield with Lombardi to pass. And it's caught for a first down. And maybe will there be a penalty here?
Well,
no.
Everybody's kind of asking about the horse collar rule, and I have not gotten a clear answer from an official yet, because it certainly is up to the discretion of the official as to what did you see. The horse collar, you need to get in. The question is, do you have to be inside the shoulder pad and rip them back, or is the jersey enough? One of the things that Dowling had there was the jersey with two hands, not just one to pull him backward.
That was Ryan New with the catch, and he's thrown to here as well and drops it as Lombardi is hit hard in the backfield. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
And that is unfortunate for Ryan New. He had a lot of open real estate in front of him. I'm not sure that anybody would have caught him, as he was just catching stride when the ball left his hands.
Ryan New may be the fastest guy on this team.
He's certainly one of them. He is a great track athlete. Been on the state-winning 4x4 last spring.
2nd down and 10 for Valley at the Dowling 23. Again, a pass for New in the end zone, but just out of his reach. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for Valley.
A very well-designed play, and Dowling is now starting to guess where the ball is going to go. They've given heavy doses of Trey Fugate. Fugate's starting to get into a rhythm as the offensive line is starting to get a little bit of a push, and now there's wide receivers starting to open up all over the place. I think they're trying to get that running game opened up a little bit more by throwing the ball down the field.
3rd down and 10. Clayton Mitchell is at the bottom of your screen. Jack Johnson to the top, but it's a handoff to Fugate. And he gets to the 20-yard line. It's going to be 4th and long, and they'll bring out Tinsley for about maybe a 37-yard try. Yep, about 37-yard field goal try for Tinsley Wright. Again, he's made from 43 and 44, but one of those was waved off due to the penalty. Tinsley Wright with that big leg knocks this one through. There's 2 officials.
There are 2 officials.
The post this time. And now Valley within 1. 7 minutes to go in the first half. It's Dowling 7, Valley 6 on CISN.TV.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
Tinsley Wright, after that 37-yard field goal, ready to kick off. It's 7-6, Dowling over Valley here in the second quarter. This will be a touchback.
Special teams, one of the keys to the game tonight.
Iowa High School playoff football on CISN.TV, brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet. If it's not the power price, it's not the lowest price. Let's go down to the sideline, this Shields sideline report with Dar Danielson.
Yeah, that official, he ran in a little late that time, but he got there, so there were 2 under the goalpost. Valley was trying to get a little motion and throw off the defense. They worked a couple times there, but in the end, the Dowling stayed at home and able to force him into the kick.
1st down and 10, Dowling at their own 20. A handoff to Jason Murray. He's wrapped up for no gain on the far side of the field.
Great job by Drew Urach coming up from the safety position. I don't know that there's very many people that have been able to stop Jason Murray for a 1-yard gain or less. So, ladies and gentlemen, you may have just seen history.
Drew Urach with the big interception. That set up the Valley score that we just had. Here's Waters looking to pass, and it's caught. And a big gain across midfield down to the 30-yard line and down to the 20, or I should say the 18-yard line of Valley. And that is Edward Thompson, the big receiver for the Maroons.
That is a cardinal mistake by a defensive back. If you're going to come up and make a play on it, you better come away with the ball, because once your backside hand, your upfield hand comes in front of the receiver, if the ball gets to him, there is nothing stopping him.
So that play going for about 60 yards, over 60 yards. Here is Bracken Cobb wrapping up Jason Murray by the tail of his shirt. We've seen a few of those already tonight.
We have. That is incredible hand strength by Cobb. He held him up until people got into position to come in and help out, and it did take 3 or 4 more guys to get it done.
Again, a 60-yard pass play from Zach Waters. Here's another run by Murray. It'll be about 3rd down and 7. Here's a late couple of flags coming in.
Now, one of the advantages that Dowling does have offensively with this rule where you can actually get behind the ball carrier and assist him forward, they got some big guys that can get that push going. But in this particular case, again, Dowling kind of stepping on their foot wrong as they got called for a 15-yard penalty here.
Dowling moved into Valley territory with about a 65-yard pass play from Waters to Thompson, but since then they've been marching backward. It is 2nd down and 22 from the Valley 30.
Is it 2nd or 3rd?
The 3rd down, sorry. 3rd down and long. Waters shotgun position. He's got 4 receivers. Is he going to run here? He will, and he's got a lot of room. He's down to the 15. He'll be short of the 1st down by about 7 yards. Waters dangerous on his feet. He's run for over 200 yards this year and 9 touchdowns.
Which he has more rushing touchdowns than he has passing touchdowns on the year. So he certainly is a threat to move the pocket and escape the pocket.
Drew Peterson to kick about a 31-yard field goal attempt. He's made just 1 of 3 field goals on the year. That was a 27-yarder, so this would be his longest of the year. It's good.
Well, he certainly has the leg to do it.
Looks like a 31-yard field goal for Dowling's Drew Peterson, and our score now 10-6, Dowling on top of Valley on CISN.TV.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Drew Peterson, a 31-yard field goal, putting Dowling on top of Valley 10-6 with just over 4 minutes to go in the first half. And Peterson with the boot, and it looks like Valley will get a chance to return. And good coverage there by the Maroons. Valley will start at their own 15.
That is outstanding kick coverage. It's the 2nd time on kickoffs that they've been able to keep Valley within the 20-yard line. Actually, both of them very close to the 15-yard line. So When you can get the ball high down the field and let your kick coverage get down in time to cover it, usually good things happen.
Iowa High School playoff football on CISN.TV, brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Recommendations you can trust. Keith, what do you expect here from the Valley offense? They've had some success passing and running.
I expect them to continue running the ball a little bit. They have Clayton Mitchell in there right now. He's a little bit thicker than Fugate, still has good speed, so I expect them to have a more ball-controlled series here and try and get ahead of the chains in the running game.
Clayton Mitchell with nearly 600 yards rushing on the season and 9 touchdowns. We saw him run for a 73-yard touchdown early in the season. Again, to Mitchell, he's near the 20. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Tigers.
We'll call it a long 4.
All right. Dowling has 2 timeouts left. Valley with all 3 of theirs as we're getting close to the end of the first half. See how those are used. We're now down to 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
And neither coach really concerned about the clock right now, as there's plenty of game left. There's more than likely not going to be any 35-point rule tonight.
Valley taking their first timeout. They trail here 10-6. 2:47 to go in the first half on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
West Des Moines Dowling and West Des Moines Valley in their 50th year of this rivalry. And this is a quarterfinal round game of the Iowa High School playoffs. We've got a good one so far. Dowling leading Valley 10-6. Lombardi is sacked, and there's a fumble, the first turnover for the Tigers.
And a costly fumble, as that is inside the 20. Dowling's already in the red zone. Lombardi working his way to step up in the pocket and caught from behind. Did not see the Dowling defender coming in.
And trying to decide who came up with that dart. Did you get a number down on the field?
I didn't see who came up with it, but Jack Kehoe forced it loose. He got right abound, and as Lombardi was trying to go ahead, just grabbed him and almost like a Heimlich maneuver there. And that time the ball popped out, and I didn't catch who got on it, but it was Jack Kehoe who forced the fumble.
All right. Might have been Jack Scholl's number 97, if I caught the number right. At any rate, Dowling taking over at the 17-yard line of Valley. Murray on that first down carry, not much of a gain.
Nice job by Valley's front four. Logan Kruzman in on that tackle, had him wrapped up from the start. You know, neither team is a stranger to playoff appearances in football. Next week, both teams are in the state volleyball tournament. Both teams are in the state swimming tournament this weekend in Marshalltown. So a lot of things going on in both schools.
Here's a 2nd down and 9 play, and Murray breaking some tackles close to a first down, and he does have a first down. It'll be 1st and goal with under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Again, all of this this possession for Dowling coming after a sack and fumble by Lombardi. We believe picked up by Jack Scholes. And now from the 6-yard line of Valley, Dowling has a first down. It's Murray, and he's going to go into the end zone for his second touchdown of the game.
And he went in untouched. Great job by opening up those gaps. Jesse Alger was right there, getting some people moved out of the way, as was Charlie Nank.
A couple of those names, Nank and Alger, they're possible D1 players. And the point after is good, making our score Dowling 17, Valley 6. A minute and a half to go in the first half on CISN.TV.
The trade-in, trade-up event at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to 12.5 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to 6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
So when it looked like we could be going to halftime with a score of 10-6, a fumble, a sack, and a fumble by Dowling. And Jason Murray with his second 6-yard touchdown run of the game. Suddenly it's the Maroons leading 17-6. The ensuing kickoff brought out to the 17-yard line. That's where Valley will take over 1st and 10.
And funnily enough, it could be a 17-6 halftime score. It could be a 17-13 score. It could be a 24-6 halftime score yet. Both teams have explosive offenses that they could hit anything at any time and change the momentum very quickly.
Valley has a minute 26 to work with and 2 timeouts starting at their own 17-yard line. Lombardi with Trey Fugate behind him. It's a handoff to Fugate. He breaks one tackle, but then he's wrapped up after about a yard gain. Will Dowling call a timeout here?
Well,
they've got 2.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll call one here. They might after this next play, but both defenses have an abundance of turnovers in their favor. I think Valley leads the turnover race as of right now, 27-26 on the season.
2nd down and 10, 45 seconds to go. Again, a handoff to Fugate, and he's brought down, and a timeout will be called here by Dowling, as 3rd down and 10 is coming up with 38 seconds to go in the first half. So obviously the Maroons wanting to get the ball one more time in this first half.
And with the timeout here on 3rd down, 38 seconds to go, Dowling does have one more. So depending on the play that happens here, they can call their last timeout unless it's an incomplete pass. Then they'll probably set up the block as Valley does have a sophomore long snapper in.
All right. Yeah, Valley again losing their center, Zach Shaner, in that Ankeny game to injury. Mason Ayers is the center when Valley's out there on offense. But
and Matthew Mahoney, the long snapper now.
And it's been interesting to see, Keith, that the left tackle, Jake Remsburg, of course, the Iowa State University recruit, they move him to guard rather than keep him at tackle.
Well, they did, because they brought Colby Christensen in, who is more suited toward the tackle position than the guard position. Remsburg actually started the season as a guard before he got moved out to that tackle position.
Okay, Lombardi rolling out. He's going to be sacked at the 10-yard line. And another timeout by Dowling with 32 seconds to go in the first half. So a punt coming up here for Valley. And punting from his goal line will be Cole Peterson after this timeout. And the Maroons will have pretty good field position with a half minute to work with.
Cole Peterson has done a nice job punting all year. Been closing in on 40 yards per punt, just a little under. He needs that now. You know, if there's ever a time to flip the field and have your special teams take over for you, it's right now.
Back to accept this punt will be Matt Stillwell, the junior, number 17, standing right around the 50-yard line.
And Stillwell is a very fast runner. He's done a nice job with his punt returns all year. You don't want to kick it right at him.
Cole Peterson in his own end zone. He's got some room to work with and gets off a good spiral taken by Stillwell at the 50. He breaks one tackle, gets a few yards out to the 40, about a 12-yard return. So 40 yards to go for the Maroons for a touchdown, but again, they could get enough for a field goal try as well.
And they're probably going to have to get it to the 25 to feel pretty confident that Peterson would be able to get that in.
Drew Peterson kicking a 31-yard field goal just a few minutes ago. That's his longest of the year. 21 seconds left to go in the first half. And Dowling has the ball at the Valley 40. Waters looking to pass. He's going close to the end zone and incomplete. Looks like maybe Jack Lyman. That's
yeah, Jack Lyman on the route there. He had a step on him.
Yeah.
Ball just thrown a little bit too far.
That leaves just under 15 seconds left in the first half. It's second down and 10 from the 40. Again, Dowling now out of timeouts.
As long as you continue to throw the ball, you're going to have a couple of plays here. Running the ball, you better get out of bounds.
Levi Hummel is in the backfield along with Jason Murray and Zach Waters. On this second down and 10, it's a handoff to Murray. And he's wrapped up after just a few yards. And it looks like that will be the end of the first half. Our score, the Dowling Maroons 17, Valley 6. It's halftime on CISN.TV.
Trade-in, trade-up event at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to 12.5 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to 6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Dowling leading Valley 17-6 at halftime here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Pat Curtis and Keith Bornes with the call here tonight on CISN.TV. Real good quarterfinal round playoff game here tonight, Keith.
Well, you know, the whole community has come in saying tonight's the state championship game. Whether that is or isn't, we know one thing is going to be for sure. Whoever comes away with the loss, the season's over. They don't have a shot at it. So at least you're going to have to win this one to keep going. And it has been a doozy. Defensive play has been very good, minus the big plays. I haven't seen a team just put together a nice, solid drive that has gone from one end to the other. There's always been a big play aspect in each of the drives so far.
2 touchdown runs for Jason Murray. No surprise there that he's carried most of the load for the Maroons.
And he's going to continue to carry most of the load. He comes into the game with 1,600 yards on the season, and he is a load to bring down. Not the biggest running back that Valley has faced all year, but he's certainly one of the strongest when it comes to just overall strength, body strength. He's got great balance, and he's tough to bring down, especially because he's also fast.
And how about the leg of Tinsley Wright for the Valley Tigers? They've got 6 points, both from his leg, a 44-yard field goal and a 37-yard.
I'm actually very impressed with his focus because he came out, kicked the 43-yarder. It was a great kick. And then the penalty, Valley rolls the dice and takes the points off the board, goes ahead, runs 3 more plays. They lose a yard, actually, and Tinsley Wright is right back in there. He never second-guessed anything. Why did you take my points off? He put them right back up.
Probably the biggest play of the first half came with just over 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Lombardi sacked by Jack Keogh, forcing the fumble, and Dowling took over deep in Tiger territory.
If there is an Achilles heel, it is the speed between the quarterbacks. Zach Waters does have some very good speed and is going to make a great play, which we saw him do when all receivers were covered up. And he went for a big play, 15-yard run. For Bo Lombardi to do that, he's more of a power runner from the quarterback position. It's got to be a play by design, or he's going to have to his yards would come off of a run-pass option. From a scrambling situation, if he's back deep, there's going to be a lot of people back there with him.
All right, a trip to the Unidome in Cedar Falls is on the line tonight here in West Des Moines. And at halftime, Dowling leading Valley by the score of 17-6. More halftime festivities in a moment on CISN.TV.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Halftime at Valley Stadium. I'm Pat Curtis, joined now by Clayton Sampson, who's been joining us at halftime all season during these Valley football games. And the Tigers trailing Dowling 17-6 here at halftime. Clayton, any surprise with what you've seen so far?
I don't know. It really just doesn't get much better than this, Pat, because you got the Dowling Catholic, who's the 5-time defending state champs, against their crosstown rivals, the number 2 ranked Valley Tigers, in the state quarterfinals on their mutual turf with a trip to the Dome at stake. So, I mean, you can't hardly beat this environment. And to start this game, in the first quarter, it was looking like, 2 prize fighters in their corner trying to feel each other out, waiting for that second blow to come in the half. But as you touched on with Keith earlier, I mean, really the X factor to this Dowling offense has been Jason Murray. He's awfully tough to bring down. He scored the 2 touchdowns already so far, and Valley's just had a hard time maintaining him.
Yeah, both of Murray's touchdown runs from 6 yards out early in the first quarter. That put Dowling up by the score of 7-0. Tinsley Wright with a couple of long field goals, 44 and 37 yards.
I know, and that was something that really impressed me, was his ability to step in there in that situation and kick a field goal from that deep, especially when the first one got wiped off with the penalty, when they chose to decline that. But, yeah, with these 2 coaches, between Gary Swenson and Dowling's head coach, it's just going to be a chess match almost for the second half, because they both have experience. They've both been in this situation before, and they know what's at stake.
Yeah, Tom Wilson, the Dowling coach, now in his 14th season, and as you said, the Maroons going after their 6th state title. Talk a little bit more about this rivalry. These 2 teams have met 8 times in 6 years, with Valley winning 3 of those games, Dowling winning 5. Of course, the Maroons winning the 2 big ones in the playoffs. Both of those were in the semifinals in the Unidome, but this one, of course, in the quarterfinals. And again, a trip to Cedar Falls on the line here tonight.
Yeah, and when I look at this specific game tonight, I see that Dowling comes into this game with a chip on their shoulder, as they got beat earlier in the season by Valley. But then Valley also wants to prove to them that they are the best team in the state, and they have the best chance at the Dome. So that's what I see tonight and going into the second half.
All right, that's Clayton Sampson. Thanks a lot, Clayton, for your insight. Again, 17-6 is our halftime score. Dowling on top of Valley here on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages. all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Dowling leads Valley 17-6 at halftime here at Valley Stadium, this quarterfinal round game of the Iowa High School football playoffs on CISN.TV. The Iowa High School Athletic Association would like to take this opportunity to remind you that sportsmanship starts with you. Good sportsmanship means showing respect to student athletes, coaches, officials, schools, and to those around you, regardless of how an event is going. Good sportsmanship shows character, accountability, and sets a positive example on and off the field. The Iowa High School Athletic Association thanks you for being a good sport for tonight's game. It's halftime. Dowling 17, Valley 6 on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
Trade-in, trade-up event at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $12,500 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to $6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
The Iowa High School Athletic Association needs your help to add registered sports officials in the 2018-19 school year. Officials are needed at all levels in all IHSAA-sanctioned events. Officiating allows you to stay close to the game while serving as a community leader in action. And in Iowa, high school and junior high games can't take place without them. Visit IAHSAA.org or highschoolofficials.com for more information. Help the Iowa High School Athletic Association add one today. Pat Curtis and Keith Bornis, it's halftime on CISN.TV. A quarterfinal round Class 4A playoff game. Dowling leading Valley 17-6. Keith, some other scores from Class 4A, of course, 3 other games. We understand Southeast Polk is leading Johnston 14-0. And have you heard anything about Waukee and Cedar Falls?
Last I had heard, it was Cedar Falls 27, Waukee 0
Wow.
at halftime.
And the other 4A game features Bettendorf at Iowa City West, a couple of 9-1 teams entering.
And I have not heard a score from there yet, but I have been told that it's been back and forth. So both teams getting some offense rolling.
Okay, so after tonight, there will be 4 teams left in Class 4A, and of course, those games will be played next weekend at the Unidome in Cedar Falls. Keith, we're about 2 minutes from kickoff for the second half. If you're Dowling, or I'm sorry, Valley coach Gary Swenson at halftime, what are you telling your team?
We got to clean things up. Shot ourselves in the foot just too many times tonight. If you take a look at the first game against Dowling to tonight's game, it's kind of a role reversal as far as penalties and taking yourself out of your rhythm. Dowling getting a score off the short field. Dowling getting a big score after a huge pass play. So limit big plays, keep everything in front of you, and just go back to playing Valley football.
And if you're Dowling coach Tom Wilson, I imagine you don't have to change much. Just give the ball to Jason Murray.
Right now, Dowling certainly has the advantage, and the reason that they have the advantage more so than just the score is the fact that now they can control the clock. They're going to get the kickoff to open up the second half here, and so you just give heavy doses of Jason Murray. That big offensive line, trying to stop those guys, that's going to put a lot of pressure, and it's also going to wear on you as a defensive lineman the rest of the night. So it's going to be a gut check for Valley's D-line as Dowling's offensive line going to just try to maintain things. 3 yards here, 4 yards here, and we've seen Jason Murray break some very big plays.
All right, the Valley Tigers entered this game with a 10-0 record. That included a 20-6 win over this Dowling team in week number 2 of the regular season. And, of course, Dowling, the 5-time defending state champion. They're looking for number 6 this year, but they need to get by Valley here tonight in West Des Moines. These two teams have met. This is their 9th meeting in 6 years. The 3rd time they've met in the playoffs in those years, and, of course, Dowling winning both of those previous meetings back in 2015 and 2013.
Pat, I did look out into the crowd here, and I've seen some banners come up. Whichever team gets the win tonight, remember, fans, there are no banners in the dome.
We know that a lot of people are watching this tonight on CISN.TV. We really appreciate that. Support our sponsors that make this broadcast possible if you get the chance. Mid-American Energy, The Other Place, Schottenkirk Chevrolet, the Better Business Bureau. Thanks so much for watching. We've got a great crowd here tonight at Valley Stadium. Just a great atmosphere for Iowa high school playoff football. Temperature right around 50 degrees. A little cloudy, but no wind to speak of. And here we go, the start of the second half. Valley kicking off to Dowling, and it will be a touchback, giving no chance for Jason Murray to return any kickoffs tonight.
That is the only way you can kick directly at Jason Murray, way over his head.
Before Dowling starts their first possession, let's check in with Shields sideline report and Dar Danielson.
Yeah, the conditions down here, as you talked about, have not changed at all. No breeze to speak of. And this is where the Valley defensive line has to come up and stop those big linemen and get a stop here right away.
Zach Waters, the quarterback, a handoff to Jason Murray, and a big first down carry of about 17 yards. So in that first meeting with Valley, they kept Murray from breaking the big play, but they haven't been able to do that here tonight.
As a defensive coach would tell you, you want to be able to set that edge and keep your field side arm free so that you can make tackles and get off that block. What Dowling is doing such a good job of is limiting those outside guys to come up and make plays.
A missed tackle on this pass play and a pickup of about 5 yards by Edward Thompson.
Nice little pitch and catch there. After the big first down, just a nice little easy gain of 5 to get ahead of the chains. 2nd
down and 5 from their own 42. Dowling with the opening possession of the second half. They're leading 17-6, 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. Shotgun is Waters. A handoff to Murray. And he's close to a first down.
They're going to call him about a yard shorter than I thought. Maybe a yard and a half.
Yeah. It'll bring up third down and at least a yard.
Maybe 2.
Iowa High School playoff football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Mid-American Energy, our 100% renewable vision. Third down and 1 for Dowling. No surprise, it's Murray. And he breaks it to the inside and almost dragged down. And finally is. He does get the first down, and he's into Valley territory at the 49.
I think the only thing I can think of right now that stays on its feet better than Jason Murray is that weeble wobble.
Oh.
You know, you can punch them, you can knock them, they don't fall down.
You're aging yourself with that one, I think, Keith. Did they still make weeble
I was
wobbles?
very, very young at the time.
Here's Murray again in open field and a shoestring tackle at the 42. So the weeble wobble gets about 12 yards on that carry.
I just don't remember weeble wobbles being that fast.
No. First down for the Maroons at the Valley 36.
And this is that drive that we were talking about coming out of halftime, what Dowling needs to do. Burn clock, move the ball down the field.
Zach Waters, another handoff to Murray. He's across the 30 near another first down at the 25. This will move the chains again.
Valley's defense has spent a lot of time on the field tonight already. If they continue to spend this much time on the field, the wear down process is going to happen a lot faster.
First and 10 at the 25 of Valley. This is the Maroons. Again with Murray on the carry. Breaking more tackles across the 20 down to the 19.
That is just an impressive effort by Jason Murray as he broke through 3 Valley tacklers before he was actually tackled another 4 yards downfield.
And he's still down. Now he gets up. The trainers for Dowling came out to check on him, and he's off the field on his own power, so that's good for Dowling and Jason Murray. It'll be second down and 3 at the 18-yard line. This first possession of the second half started at their own 20.
He may be going to the sideline just to drink a gallon of water.
Yeah,
maybe
he's
stop from cramping.
Had almost every carry to start the second half here. That is Tegan Johnson now. Will bring up, he's short of the first down marker. It'll be third and about 3.
And Murray coming right back onto the field.
8 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Maroons leading the Tigers 17-6. This is Dowling's opening possession of the second half. And a big 3rd and 3 coming up here. And a keeper by Waters, and he's got a first down near the 10-yard line.
One of the things that Valley can't do is forget about the legs of Zach Waters, as he, again, has scored more touchdowns on the ground than he has through the air all year.
He's thrown for 7 touchdowns. He's run for 9. Again, Jason Murray lined up behind Waters on this first down and 10 from the 11. Murray with the carry. And that big line of Charlie Nank, Alex Curtin, Greg Hagan, Jesse Alger, also Ryan Bowles. And about 5 yards on that play will bring up second down and 5.
On this series so far, Dowling has not moved backward at all. And so they're certainly keeping it in the positive direction, and they're staying ahead of the chains on most downs.
The ball is at Valley's 6-yard line. And somebody jumping too early here. So
looking at the first penalty of the second half on Dowling. Moving it back 5 yards.
Now 2nd and 10 from the 11. Two receivers split here to the near side. Shotgun is Waters with Murray behind him. And it is Murray. He gets back to the 6-yard line. Will bring up 3rd down and 5.
And the 6 was about the original line of scrimmage prior to the false start. So the plays didn't change any. You didn't have to change any of your offense. Just going to take an extra play to try and get that first down.
It is 3rd down and 6. Waters rolling out to the far side of the field. And it's a touchdown, a pass that's caught in the end zone, I believe, by, is it Edward Thompson?
It was Edward Thompson doing a nice job doing a half motion across the field behind as the cadence was going. Turned back around, just ran a nice, easy, quick out, and caught it for 6. Well-designed play.
All 3 touchdowns by Dowling from 6 yards out. And the point after from Drew Peterson is good. So 5:46 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's now Dowling 24, Valley 6 on CISN.TV.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
An 80-yard drive covering just over 6 minutes to start the second half. Dowling now on top of Valley 24-6. Let's get a Shields sideline report from Dar Danielson.
Yeah, that time, Pat, it was just straight ahead blocking by Dowling. Nobody pulling, just, basically blocking Shed bulldoze ahead and the whole way down the field and kind of making a statement coming out to start this second half and really taking control of the ball game.
Keith, what do you expect here from Valley? They need to get in the end zone.
They do need to get in the end zone, but at the same time, there's no such thing as a play that is going to make up, what is the points here, 18 points. So you don't have an 18-point play. You're going to have to burn some clock to get down the field, ball security, and move the ball.
Here's a completed pass from Lombardi to Clayton Mitchell. Good for a few yards. The tackle by Chris Owsley, the junior defensive back for Dowling. 2nd down and 8 coming up.
I expect Dowling's going to start backing off a little bit on those receivers, allowing those 5 and 6 yard pass plays to happen.
Lombardi by himself in the backfield, almost tackled now. He's going to run it, and almost lost the ball there for a moment, but he was able to hang on. He's short of the first down by about 3 yards. It'll be third down coming up.
A great job by Bo there. He's more of that, like we said, a power runner rather than a speed runner, and he used that strength to break a tackle and pick up some pretty important yards, as Valley is still just, we'd call it a third and short here.
At their own 29, Lombardi passing. He's got a receiver open and caught for a first down, it would appear.
And just a first down, as Parker Marshall did a great job just getting right to the chains and cutting the route off.
First time Parker Marshall has touched the ball here tonight. Bo Lombardi passed the ball just 14 times in the first meeting of the year with Dowling. I think we'll see a lot more passes before the night's through here tonight. Here's a running play on first down. Couple yards for Trey Fugate. Getting close to 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Lombardi under center. Hands it to Fugate. Breaks it outside, but a flag comes in right as Fugate is dropped for a loss.
It would be interesting to see what the call is, as it's in the area of a hold. Get the official word here. As Valley lost 3.5 yards on that play. Coach Wilson declining it, making it third and long rather than second and, forever.
Longer. 3rd and 10 from their own 32. Lombardi has a receiver. It's caught by Ryan New for a first down.
That is a great route by Ryan New, just finding that little seam and then setting up in a nice little pocket area. Bo Lombardi stepped up, delivered a heater.
First down and 10. Lombardi going deep for Johnson on the far side of the field. Overshot him. It'll be second down and 10 from their own 47. Ryan New with 17 receptions during the regular season for over 240 yards. And did he miss part of the season at all? Or
he had an injury. He missed one game.
Here's second down and 10. Clayton Mitchell with the catch, trying to avoid losing some yardage here. He does get back to the line of scrimmage, but it will be third down and 10 for the Tigers coming up.
That was actually a very well-designed play. They've been faking the jet sweep to Clayton Mitchell all night and handing off to Fugate. A nice little pass out to Mitchell there. The problem, Dowling did an outstanding job of reading it and finding the ball. The defensive line able to get upfield very quickly.
3 minutes to go in the third quarter. 3rd and 9 for Valley. Here's a pass. Marshall, did he keep his feet in? He did. Great job by Parker Marshall. A first down for the Tigers at the Dowling 30.
That was as good a throw and catch as you're going to have. Parker Marshall getting down the field on a long comeback route, and Lombardi hit him right as the turn happened. Defensive back had no chance of getting the play on it.
This is Valley's first possession of the second half, trailing 24-6. Lombardi has a receiver open. It's Clayton Mitchell at the 10-yard line.
Nice job by Clayton Mitchell to get down into that middle of a soft zone in between the safeties and right over the top of the linebackers on a great pass by Lombardi. If Valley's going to get back into it, the passing game is going to be a key to get it done.
First and 10, Valley at the 11 of Dowling. Lombardi under pressure. Boy.
That incompletion was made by Dowling's Jack Kehoe, and we have called his name a lot coming off the edge with incredible pressure, not only on Lombardi, but on the backs as well. He's had some tackles in the backfield.
Kehoe was the one in on the sack that forced the fumble by Lombardi that led to the late first half touchdown by Dowling. That was one of the bigger plays of the game. 2nd down and 10, Valley. Again, Kehoe in the Valley backfield, dropping that play for a loss.
As was Captain Ryan Adam, who we haven't called his name a lot, but he's been in on a lot of tackles tonight.
Max Bay looked like also in there, a senior player for Dowling. With 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, Valley facing 3rd and 10 at the Dowling 11. And hoping for more than a field goal this time, but Lombardi will be sacked. And that is Nate Collins, the nose guard, breaking through. Tinsley will attempt another field goal to try and draw Valley within 24-9 if he can make this 30-yard attempt. Again, wind not a factor tonight. And Wright has already made field goals from 44 and 37. And he makes one from 30 yards out, making our score Dowling 24, Valley 9. A minute 13 to go in the third quarter on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively...
This Shields sideline report from Dar Danielson. Valley with a really good drive there, but Dowling putting on the pressure when it counted there at the end to force the field goal.
Yeah, Lombardi had a lot of time to pass early on. There wasn't a lot of rush up the middle until they got down there compacted down there in the red zone, and then they really, brought a little more pressure up the middle, but he's getting more. He got more time that time on the drive just to sit back there and look. But if you look up at the clock now, down to 1:13 here to go in the third quarter. So a good scoring drive for them. They didn't get a touchdown, but it also took a lot of clock, which is what Dowling wanted.
Dar Danielson's sideline reports brought to you by Shields. Dowling leading Valley 24-9. Pat Curtis and Keith Bornes here with the call on CISN.TV. And here comes Dowling, 1st and 10 from their 20. And Zach Waters with the keeper.
Zach Waters, a very good runner. In addition to running the ball and having the clock move, part of the clock moving is the officials getting the ball reset before, they start the 25-second clock. So running it up the middle, not always the best thing. You might want to get the ball a little bit further away from the officials.
Here's a handoff to Jason Murray on a 2nd down and 7 play. He gets a couple as we're now under 30 seconds left in the third quarter. A 3rd down and 4 play coming up here for Dowling. A bigger play for Valley. They need a stop to force a punt and a chance to get back in this game.
And Dowling, they'll let the clock run out here and take it to a 3rd and 4. It's the start of the fourth quarter.
All right. As we head to the fourth and final quarter of the game, it's Dowling 24, Valley 9 on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Keith, while we have a chance here, we've been talking so much about Bo Lombardi, the Valley quarterback. His older brother, Rocky, had quite a day last Saturday, didn't he?
He sure did, passing for, 318 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Had an interesting beginning to the game, but I tell you, he looked like a seasoned quarterback. And I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow as far as who's going to start or not. But nobody will ever take that away from him.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Rocky Lombardi playing for Michigan State, and he had the start at quarterback last week and led the Spartans to victory. Here we go, the start of the fourth quarter. Dowling leading 24-9. An incomplete pass on that 3rd down and 4 play, so just what Valley needed. A punt coming up here from the Maroons.
Was not the best clock management there by Dowling, as they kind of went away from Jason Murray, ran the ball up the middle, and then had a pass play that landed incomplete. Did not take much time off the clock, and Valley's going to get it back.
Carter Baumler with a pretty good boot. Ryan New, though, a chance to return, makes a great move. No flag on that, what looked like a block in the back, possibly, but a great return by Ryan New into Dowling territory at the 32-yard line.
Well, I'm wondering if I see some laundry on the field right there at the 39.5-yard line of Valley.
Yep, there it is. Block in the back on Valley. So I don't know if that would have been a necessary, no, that broke the play. Or?
Yeah, it was not a necessary block, and that's one of the things, the only thing that Dowling really needed to be concerned about was letting Valley's return men make a big play, which that was, and then Valley ended up hurting themselves. Instead of having the ball at the, Dowling 40, it's now back at the Valley 30, so that is a solid, 30-yard penalty.
Ryan New has his punt return average about 14 yards. We saw him return a punt 66 yards for a touchdown during the regular season. And another piece of yellow laundry on the field. Nope.
Yeah,
before the penalty, timeout.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll take a timeout. Dowling leading Valley 24-9 here in the fourth quarter on CISN.TV.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see it.
First down and 10, Valley at their own 30-yard line. We're in the fourth quarter. And here's a pass to Jack Johnson. He's got a catch at the 50, and he's into Valley territory at the 40, but the Dowling sideline is cheering because apparently a fumble recovered by the Maroons.
An incredible pass by Lombardi. Jack Johnson went up, made a great catch, got back down on the ground, couple of steps, and the ball came out. Dowling had plenty of people there, as it looked like the entire team and sideline was there to recover that fumble. Very inopportune turnover for Valley.
The second turnover by the Tigers. The first one came near the end of the first half on a sack of Bo Lombardi that was picked up, that fumble picked up by the Maroons and ended up resulted in a touchdown run by Murray, who just carried that first down play for about 2-3 yards.
Nice job by Logan Kruzman and Jake McCudden to get in on that stop. They're going to have to show some courage here on the Valley defensive line, as the offensive line of Dowling is just getting such a great push at the snap.
Here's Murray with a run up the middle. He's got a first down across midfield to Valley, the Valley 49-yard line. The chains move, and the ball marked back right on the 50. First down and 10, Dowling. 10:42 to go in the ball game, and Dowling leading here 24-9.
Yes, Dowling in the driver's seat right now. The only thing they need to worry about right now is ball security. They got to hang on to the ball.
Waters shotgun with Murray behind him. Murray with the handoff, and he's running to the outside, and he's got another first down at about the 35-yard line of Valley.
And what Murray did so well on that play, in addition to the nice run, is he was able to plant that outside foot and push back in and stay in bounds. So the clock, once the ball is set, the clock is going to keep ticking away.
Now just over 10 minutes to go in the ball game.
You can rest assured that there's just under 30 seconds going to be run off on each play that Dowling runs now. That'll drain the clock quick.
Murray up the middle, and he's going to go 34 yards for a touchdown. The third touchdown run by Jason Murray. The first two, both from 6 yards out. This one, 34 yards, straight up the middle, barely touched.
Great job again by the Dowling offensive line. They have just been able to create gaps, and you don't need to make a big gap, just enough for Murray to squeeze through, and they have made plenty of that.
The point after attempt, good by Drew Peterson. It's Dowling 31, Valley 9 on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
The Dowling Maroons with a 22-point lead with under 10 minutes to go in the ball game. And not a good place to start for Valley on this possession.
If I'm Coach Swenson, I might question that call on whether or not Mitchell had control of the ball and ran back into the end zone, or if his momentum carried him in which case it would be a touchback.
Let's see if we can get a report here from the sideline and Dar Danielson.
I think you're right on that, Keith. Once he picked it up, I do think he had to pick it up because it started stopping and was bouncing back toward like it was going to stay out of the end zone, and so he had to pick it up. But then I think he may have been in the end zone. I don't know. It's hard to tell from this angle, but you might be right on that one.
As it is, Valley starts at their own 2 or 3 yard line. 1st and 10, play a pass, good for about 3-4 yards. 2nd and 6 coming up.
That last touchdown by Dowling, I don't know that necessarily is the nail in the coffin, but I'd say that the lid is closing. So Valley needs to get something going here, and in a hurry-up situation, if they have any hopes of clinging to any hope of getting a victory.
Bo Lombardi passing, and he's forced to run. He's short of the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd down and about 1 coming up here. And the clock now under 9 minutes to go in the game. Again, the Tigers trailing by 22 points with 8:40 and counting on the clock. A trip to the Unidome in Cedar Falls on the line. Lombardi passing. And a big hit. Clayton Mitchell jumps right up after that catch, and a 1st down for the Tigers at their 19-yard line.
I'd say that's just impressive to get up. You know, one thing to hang on to the ball on the catch, that's amazing, but what's even more impressive is you get up after that.
Yeah.
No matter what, you're going to feel it tomorrow, but impressive on getting up.
Lombardi looking for Mitchell again on the far side, overshoots the receiver.
You know, sometimes they call that having alligator arms. You might hear footsteps and all those different things as the defensive back is coming up to make the play, or linebacker in that case. But I'm not so sure Clayton Mitchell didn't pull his arms back in, knowing that he was going to get tackled inbounds there. The clock is actually stopped right now instead of a 1-yard gain, and the clock moving. It was nothing, and the clock not running.
This pass to Jack Johnson incomplete. Good defense by Dowling, not fooled on that play at all. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for Valley at their own 19. Iowa High School playoff football on CISN.TV, brought to you by The Other Place, serving your favorite since 1970. Lombardi, no receiver in the area. 4th and 10 coming up.
Coach Swenson electing to bring the punt team in.
Yeah, just a little too deep in your own territory. I know you're down by 22 points with 8 minutes to go, but
at the same time, you just don't want to give it away either.
That's right. So Cole Peterson standing at his 11-yard line, and Stillwell to accept another good punt from Peterson.
But plenty of room to return.
About a 22-yard return by Stillwell, Matt Stillwell, the junior. And Dowling will start this possession in Valley territory at the 43-yard line. So Dowling goes to the Unidome. If they win this game, when do we find out who they will play?
Well, one of the things that happened this year with the RPI, the state did not say anything about what happened after. Well, they did, but they seeded out the first games, and they played that all the way through the quarterfinals. Now that the quarterfinals games are going to be done this evening, they're going to take the highest-ranked teams that are left, and they're going to seed out the Final Four.
All right.
And so if things go as continued, Cedar Falls will end up being the top seed. So they would probably play Polk if Polk is if they get by Johnston, and that would end up setting up the match between Dowling
and the winner of Bettendorf and Iowa City West.
You got it.
Okay. And will we find that out tonight? Or?
If it's tonight, it's going to be late tonight.
All right. 2nd down and 5 for Dowling. And doing the running back duties now is Tegan Johnson. And he's going to be short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 to go. The ball at the Valley 35-yard line. Under 7 minutes left in the game. Dowling leading Valley 31-9.
And Tegan Johnson, a very good running back as well, just hasn't had the opportunities because, well, you got a Jason Murray in the backfield. Been roaming that area for 3 years now.
I suppose at this point in the ball game, just might as well make sure Jason Murray is ready to go next week.
Yeah, no sense in getting an injury now.
Tegan Murray with a first down run across the 30 to the Valley 28-yard line. And the clock stops to move the chains with 6:09 to go in the ball game. 31-9, Dowling looking to avenge one of their 2 losses on the season. Again, back in week 2, Valley won the meeting between these two teams 20-6 at Drake Stadium. Dowling losing a couple weeks later to Ankeny Centennial 14-7. Dowling calls a timeout. We'll take it with them. This is Iowa High School Playoff Football on CISN.TV.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
The trade-in, trade-up event at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to 12.5 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to 6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to...
Dowling leading Valley 31-9. Just under 6 minutes to go in the ball game. Dowling has the ball at the Valley 29-yard line, 1st and 10. And a 4-yard carry. We understand Southeast Polk has a 21-0 lead on Johnston. So it does look like the Rams will take their amazing season. I mean, they came into this game 5-5, and now they're going to be in the semifinals of the Class 4A playoffs.
At 6-5, yeah. You don't see that every day. But when you watch Southeast Polk throughout the year, you could see that they had a very good team. They got a great running back as well. They quarterback can move the ball around and run as well.
Jason Murray back in the game on this 1st down and 16 play. Gets back near the original line of scrimmage. Iowa High School playoff football on CISN.TV, brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet. If it's not the power price, it's not the lowest price. Iowa High School playoff football on CISN.TV, also brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Recommendations you can trust. 4.5 minutes to go in the game. Dowling just looking to eat up that clock. And another run on 2nd down and 10. That is Tegan Johnson.
Dowling still getting that great push by the offensive line.
Jesse Alger, also Charlie Nank, Alex Curtin, Greg Hagan, Ryan Bowles. Big offensive line. Alger, 6'5", 340. Here's Tegan Johnson on a 3rd down and long. It looks like he'll be short of getting the first down, but a big carry. It will be 4th down and about 2.
And I would say more than likely Dowling's just going to stay right here and run a 4th down play. Keep the clock moving. They've been averaging well over 2 yards per play so far tonight.
3 minutes to go in the game. Here's a handoff to Johnson, and he is knocked short of the first down, so Valley will take over. They've got 3 minutes to go in the game, trailing 31-9.
You have to be impressed with what Dowling has done tonight. At the beginning of the year, when the first preseason rankings came out and Dowling's ranked number 1, this is the team you were expecting to see then. And it took them just a couple of knockdowns to remind themselves that that's what they are.
Trey Fugate on a 1st down and 10 carry. Close to 10 yards. They will move the chains.
Coach Swenson allowing his senior running back and senior quarterback the opportunity to finish this game out, get their final snaps of the year.
Here's Lombardi finding Jack Johnson for a 1st down across midfield. Let's get a Shields sideline report from Dar Danielson.
Yeah, Pat, just want to remind everybody, fans of Dowling and Valley, they can watch CISN.TV next week for the girls' state volleyball tournament, as both those teams are in it. And so Valley fans, looks like they won't get to follow the football team, but they can go east and follow the volleyball team too.
All right, thanks for that. State volleyball next week. Here's Bo Lombardi keeping the ball and going out. Well, the clock is still running. They say he stayed in bounds. It'll be 2nd down and about 1 here at the Dowling 38-yard line. Lombardi is going to be sacked. And Jackson Filer among those in on the loss.
Andrew Lynch in there as well. 6'4" sophomore. I may have missed that. My apologies. Connor Krieghauser, number 88, not 89.
Fugate with a nifty run. Close to a 1st down. Let's see. It'll be either 4th and short, 4th and 2, they call it. Now under a minute to go in the game. Lombardi passing to Johnson, and he is stopped short of the first down, and that'll just about do it. Dowling will take over, leading this one 31-9. And if we named a player of the game, probably have to go with Jason Murray, right? 3 touchdowns tonight for the Maroons.
Yes, I would say that the player of the game tonight, we have 2 of them. Jason Murray and the entire Dowling defense. To hold Valley out of the end zone, I would have to say that is a great, great feat.
Yeah, just 3 field goals for Valley tonight. Tinsley Wright, really kind of the player of the game tonight for the Tigers. He kicked field goals of 44, 37, and 30 yards. And those were just the ones that counted. He also kicked a 43-yard field goal that was points taken off the board after a penalty was called after that kick went through the uprights. So the Dowling Maroons going for their 6th consecutive state title. They get by Valley to get back to the Unidome. Our final score, Dowling 31, Valley 9. A timeout. We'll come back with some final thoughts here on CISN.TV.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Trade-in, trade-up event at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to 12.5 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to 6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
The Valley Tigers finishing the season with a 10-1 record, being presented right now on the field with a trophy for participating in the 2018 playoffs. And we're going to try and see if we can catch up with Dar Danielson, a Shields sideline report.
Well, pretty dominating performance by the offensive line here. I was going to try to get the coach. I don't know if we'll be able to here at the end, but yeah, that Dowling came out. Of course, the turnover was key in the first half that gave them that lead, and then they came right out, of course, in the third quarter, drove it right down the field and put their stamp on that they were just going to take the lead and never gave it back, and really never gave Valley any chance. And as Keith said, the Dowling defense also made it very tough on Valley's offense to get going here tonight. So Dowling, they know the way to get to the Unidome, so they're going to go back there again for try at a 6th title.
All right, thank you, Dar Danielson, for that Shields sideline report. Yeah, Valley pulled within 7-6 at one point in the second quarter after Tinsley Wright nailed a 37-yard field goal. Dowling got a field goal of their own shortly after that, making it 10-6. The real turning point in the game, though, Keith, was that sack by Jack Keogh of Bo Lombardi late in the first half, forced a fumble, and Dowling took over deep in Valley territory.
Yes, when you allow your opponent to take over inside your 20, that's just giving things away. And as great a team as Valley has been this year, the two programs are they're storied programs, but as good as Valley's defense has been all year, you just can't give the ball away at that point in the game. So the turnover ratio certainly went in Dowling's favor, and rushing yards did tonight as well.
Yeah, we're not sure how many yards that Jason Murray may have picked up tonight, but it was in the 150 range, I would imagine, and he had 3 touchdowns. 2 of them were from 6 yards out, also a 34-yard touchdown that was kind of the nail in the coffin, as you said, and that came with about 10 minutes to go in the game. Jason Murray, 3 touchdowns, and we're kind of watching to see if Dar can catch up with head coach Tom Wilson or one of the coaches for Dowling to get their thoughts on this great victory here tonight at Valley.
One of the things that I really appreciated after the game was over, Zach Shaner standing over here on the sideline. He's on crutches. He's not moving out onto the field all that well. And the Dowling team made their way over to shake hands and congratulate him on a great year and all those different things. And that's another thing that people need to remember is whether you're a Tiger or a Maroon, you're going to live right across the street from each other. And, you've grown up together. You've played on teams together against them, competed with and against all your life so far. My neighbor wears maroon on Friday night, so he and I probably won't talk tonight, but tomorrow will be back to normal.
All right. Dowling winning 31-9 over Valley to grab their ticket to the Unidome once again and a chance for a 6th consecutive state title. Of course, they've won many more beyond that just within the last 6 years. And let's go down for a Shields sideline report again from Dar Danielson.
Okay, I have Coach Tom Wilson here, and seemed like the big turning point was that turnover where you got that and then you were able to score and then kind of put it up. You knew you were going to get the ball coming out to start the second half. That appeared to be one of the big plays of the game, didn't it?
The turnover was huge, and our defense has done those things all year and couldn't be more proud of their effort. They give us the field position, and then we did know that we had it coming in the second half, and I thought that drive was as big as any to go down. We're up 17-6, then we made it 24-6, which became really important.
Jason Murray just seemed like he was getting through that little crack in the line and then just, boom, hit the jet.
Jason's terrific. He's a heck of a player, and he had told me all week, he said, we're good. And I think he just showed what kind of a player he was tonight.
You guys come in 8-2, everybody's talking about, 2 losses, this isn't the same Dowling team, but you guys, you know how to get ready for the playoffs, don't you?
Well, we've got a formula, but it takes players, and they've done a fantastic job. Those 2 losses were early against really good teams, and they outplayed us on that night. We made too many mistakes, but our goals were still in front of us, and really that's the philosophy that we've taken is let's just keep plugging away and take care of them one at a time and see what happens.
Well, you certainly know the road to the Unidome, don't you?
Well, we do, and it's like I told the kids, you can't take that for granted. It's really, really hard to get there. We've had the good fortune of being there quite a bit lately, but I think our kids understand you can't take it for granted. You've got to fight for everything that you've got, and again, very proud of our kids.
and seeing these guys shake hands and that, this is a rivalry, but when it's all over, you guys have a lot of respect for each other, don't you?
We do, and I respect Gary. I respect his whole staff. Randy Rebarger, I think, is one of the best in the business, and you know, you beat a team like that and beat a staff like that, you've really done something. So you're right. I got a tremendous amount of respect for him, always will, and it just happened to be a part of the rivalry.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Head Coach Tom Wilson of Dowling, back to you guys.
All right, Dar Danielson with our Shields sideline reports all night. Keith, just your thoughts on what Coach Wilson had to say.
Well, he said what you expect to hear a great coach say. Very complimentary of his team, very complimentary of his opponents. And I think the best thing that he said tonight was they have a formula for winning, but you got to have the players to do it, and their players certainly showed up tonight.
All right. That'll do it for this quarterfinal round game of the Class 4A playoffs. Dowling moving to the semifinal round in the Unidome in Cedar Falls with a 31-9 win over Valley. For Keith Bornes and Dar Danielson and the entire CISN.TV crew, I'm Pat Curtis saying good night from Valley Stadium in West Des Moines.